Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I was recently contacted by a company called KKSEVENS, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, to review their induction heater bolt remover kit. So they sent me one. Let's take a look at it, see how it works. Here we go. All right. This is the KKSEVENS, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Magnetic Induction Heater Kit. (110 volts, 1300, I guess 1300 watts maybe. This tool is used for heating up bolts, rusted and stuck rusted bolts, to make a removal easier. You know, it's possible to use, like if you have a oxyacetylene torch set up, which I don't, you could heat bolts up that way. But this is probably a lot faster than using a propane torch. And so I'm going to, let's go ahead and open it up here. See what's in the box. There we go. Nice sturdy case. Let's see. Wow, nice padded case. All right, what I am going to do now is I'm going to take the instruction manual and I'm going to read that, and then I'll come back and we'll go through everything here. All right, I have read over the instructions, and I believe this is pronounced K7s. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to find out for sure. Let's see. There's a few safety rules that really should be adhered to. Most of them are just common sense, but they do say that if you have a pacemaker or metal or surgical implants, stay 1 meter away. Although it says the magnetic field emitted propagates only to a distance of 0.1 meters, which is about 4 inches. So that would be worth heeding. They say don't wear any rings or watches or chains or things like that close to this, which makes sense because that could get real hot. And so most of the others are just common sense. All right. Here are 2 coils. The biggest ones are 75, what's that, 0.75 centimeters. No, the free coil, 0.75. These, you can, there are 2 of them. They supply 2 coils of each type. these are like free form. Like if you want to do a pipe or something, you can wrap this around and do it that way. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to put one of these on a pipe. Okay, so let's see. The smallest ones are 15 millimeters, which would be these two, I believe. Yes. And the largest are 40 millimeter. That would be these. They send you 2 of each coil. And this size is the 30 millimeter. 2 of them. We'll get to these in a minute. And the 20 millimeter. So there's 2 of each kind, which is nice. All right, now the case is very nice, very sturdy. So here's the heater itself. $1,300 watts, 120 volts. There's a fan in this end. I think maybe there's a fan here too. Not sure. This is the business end of this thing right here. And these, let me get these unwrapped and I'll come right back. You know, I really could have used this thing a few weeks ago when I was doing that big rolling toolbox, because I had a couple of bolts that were really stuck. Also, when I did that table saw a few months ago, that blade bolt, I almost never got that thing loose, and I think this would have made short work of it. So, all right, here's the way it works. You pick out the coil you want to use. Let's start with one of these. Put these in here. Tighten the knobs down. And before we try this thing out, let's discuss a few more things here before we do that. One of the advantages of using a tool like this is safety, because there are instances that you wouldn't want to use a torch, for instance, around a gas tank of a car, something like that, or anywhere where there's any flammable liquids around. This would be, I would think, much safer. Also, it warns against using this device around the airbag of a car. The induced current might possibly set off the airbag. So that's worth heating, I suppose. Anyway, it gives a lot of safety rules here, and like I say, most of them are just common sense. So let's see if we can figure out some way to try it out. By the way, I checked with the manufacturer, and the correct pronunciation of this company is KKSEVENS. Alright, I've set up a little experiment here. Here's a timer and a kilowatt, so we can see how much current this thing is drawing. And I'm going to try to heat up this bolt right here. It's showing, there we go, that's more like it, 88. Yeah, that's more like it. Alright, you got to push the button and hold it down. So reset the timer. Alright, let's start the timer again. Turn the unit on. Set it to watts. Push the button down and hold it. Now, we're pulling 700 watts, 711, 714. I'm going to turn off this light. Oh yeah, I'm already getting a red glow from the bolt. Man, that thing is glowing red already. Look at that. In less than a minute. Took less than a minute to get that thing red hot. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. There is no way that I could have gotten that thing that hot with a propane torch. Now maybe an oxyacetylene torch might, but no way you could do it with a propane torch. And another thing I like about it is that the heat is localized. It's right around that nut. Of course, anything around it's going to act as somewhat of a heat sink. But man, it really heated that bolt up in a hurry, and just the bolt. So that's impressive. I forgot to take a temperature reading after that thing heated up. So let's heat it up again and take a temperature reading. It's still hot from the time before. 124. $108, $110. Alright, let's heat it up again. This won't be an accurate time here. Wow. It's already glowing. Move you around a little bit here. Okay, this is happening in real time. 34 seconds. $600, $700, about $700. 700 Fahrenheit. 730. 730 degrees Fahrenheit. Warms it up pretty fast, I'd say. Okay, let's perform another test here. That last bolt was a 1/2 inch bolt. This is a 3/4 inch ambient air, or the temperature of the bolt anyway is about, yeah, let's try that again. 100 degrees? I'm not sure I believe that. Maybe it's picking up, you know what, I think it's picking up the temperature from the vise. Yeah, that's what it is, 88. So the vise is acting as a heat sink and picking up some of the heat from our previous experiment. It's been about probably 45 minutes since that last one. So we're going to try it on a 3/4 inch bolt. We're going to be using the 30mm coil on this test. So power's on, set for watts. Start the timer. Here we go. Starting to smoke. I think this one might take a little bit longer because there's more space in between the coil and the nut. I'm trying to hold it as steady as I can. That's a big nut with a kind of a skirt on it too. Let me turn the light off. Oh yeah, it's starting to glow. Let me turn the light off so we can see it better. One minute 33 seconds. Look at that. Whew, man. That doesn't take long. I'll stop at 2 minutes. I forgot to check the current. Drawing about around 500 watts is all. Pretty impressive if you ask me. I got to check the temperature. Let's do that. Pulling between 500 and 600 watts. pretty hot, and 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Once again, I'm very impressed. Alright, this time we're going to actually try to break loose a rusted bolt. I have used one of the, they call them the free coils. They come like this. And I looped it around. These things are bendable. So I looped it around a thin wall 1/2 inch socket and made one that you can, instead of going in this way, you can go this way, like if you were working in a cramped space and you couldn't get the unit in this way. So I'm going to try that. They also recommend that you use heat resistant gloves, which makes sense. I haven't done that in these prior experiments because I wasn't putting a wrench on them. But you know, that thing gets really hot and you don't want to put a wrench on there and burn yourself. So I'm going to use, when I attempt to take it off, when I attempt to break it loose, I'm going to use gloves. So let's see if we can heat it up. I'm going to turn the light off so maybe we can see it a little bit better. Alright, here we go. This bolt is rusted shut. I didn't put a breaker bar on it or anything, but I did try it with the wrench, and it's not coming loose. Okay, we're getting some smoke now. Alright, starting to glow. Oh yeah. Really getting hot now. I'm going to let it go a little bit longer. Alright, let's see if we can break it loose. Get the wrench. Yep. It's twisting the other side, I think. Let me get a wrench on that other side. Yeah, there it goes. It definitely works. Works like a charm. I'm not going to touch that without gloves because it's still really hot. Let's just see how hot. About 480 degrees. So you don't want to be touching that. That's why they recommend you wear heat-resistant gloves. One other thing I'm going to mention at this point is that the instructions say that these coils are consumables. I don't know how long they'll last. I know you can buy the coils just by themselves. I do know that one of these coils, this one I think, I used probably, I don't know, 4 times, and it looks like it's still got quite a bit more life left in it. They give you 2 of each coil, so take that for what it's worth. But does it work? Absolutely it works. It worked quite well. Well, there is a look at the KKSEVENS Magnetic Induction Heater Kit used for removing rusty bolts. I think it's a very useful tool. Passed all the tests that I gave it. At the time of this video, the unit is selling for $175 on Amazon. I think it's worth every penny of that, actually. Especially if you're going to be wrenching on old cars and rusty bolts and things of that nature. I sure could have used it back when I was restoring vintage automobiles. And so anyway, I think it's a fine addition to any shop. The coils, they say, are expendable, should be considered expendables. I think I ran about, what, 4 tests on the coils. They show a little bit of wear, so obviously I'm sure they'll wear out at some point. You can buy the replacement kits for them. It comes with 2 sizes, well, I think about 3 or 4 sizes of coils with 2 of each, so that should last you for a while. Honestly, I believe you could make those coils. You just need some heavy gauge electrical wire and some heat insulation material, which I think you can source from various places. So there you have it. When they reached out to me, I promised them that I would do an honest review, and that's the only thing I would promise. Well, I think I've done that. Honestly, I can't find anything not to like about this thing. So there you have it, my friends. My recommendation is, I would highly recommend buying one of these if you're in the need for such an item. So it worked quite well for me. There you have it. So I hope you enjoyed this review. We'll see you next time. I think we got some pretty interesting things coming up in the next few videos. So thanks for being here, my friends. Please leave me a comment, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye now.